guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's Sunday, it's 9 o'clock, which means it's time for a review show special. This is where I take a deep dive into a particular company, a particular trick, a particular product, a particular creator, and I tell you all about it. Now today, I'm going to be talking about Magic Box. Now Magic Box is a magic shop based up in Newcastle in the UK, but they do ship worldwide. They have an amazing showroom. I went there a couple of months ago. I was in holiday up in Newcastle, and it was Ryland's first trip to a magic shop. If you saw the 5x5 where we actually talked about our trip, then you'll know that we had a fantastic time. They actually sawed Ryland in half, which was super fun, and they are a really fun, friendly magic shop. They have a huge range of tricks, a lot of older items that you can't find, a lot of the latest stuff. They carry all the Murphy's items, but they also have a range of their own magic as well. That is only available from Magic Box. Now, up until, I don't know how long ago, up until a few years ago, Michael Murray released a lot of tricks through Magic Box. Obviously, he has his own production company now, but for a long time, he was releasing a whole bunch of stuff through Magic Box, and anyone who knows Michael Murray knows he's a super creative guy, so you can get a lot of stuff like that from them. They have a massive back catalogue of magic tricks, packet tricks, and a whole bunch of different things. Chris Rubens has released a lot of magic through them through the years as well. However, I wanted to highlight some maybe lesser known Magic Box tricks that you might like or might not like. So I'm going to look at 4 or 5 different Magic Box tricks, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about them. First of all, this is their URL. It's coming up at the bottom of the screen now. So go and check them out. As I say, they do ship worldwide. And the first trick that I want to look at is called Bunnies, and it's a fantastic trick if you are a table hopper or you are performing close-up and there are kids there. Honestly, there's not that much close-up magic that works for kids. This does, and this works really well. Let's have a look at that product first. So first up, we are going to be looking at Bunnies, or Burger-Ler Bunnies. This is by Graham Shaw. Graham Shaw is one of the owners of Magic Box, and if you didn't see my interview with him that went up on Wednesday, feel free to check it out. He is the current Family Entertainer of the Year. He has been there and done it all and bought the t-shirt. He is very, very good at entertaining children. He is one of the top kids entertainers and family entertainers in the Northeast. And he, as I say, he's the current Family Entertainer of the Year, UK-wide. Burger-Ler Bunnies is a packet trick designed for kids. Now, when I think about close-up magic for kids, a lot of the time, I will do normal stuff. And I've talked about this on Q&As in the past. And the reason is, if you're performing and there's kids there, but there's also adults there, you want to do something that impresses the adults, but you also want to do something that the kids can relate to. So you don't want to do a 15-phase gambling routine, but you can very, very easily make something like an ambitious card work for kids by getting them to draw maybe a puppy on the back of the card and saying, you know, calling the name, a bit like the David Regal routine. However, there are situations where you absolutely want to have stuff that is focused on the kids, which is why many, many years ago, through Practical Magic, I put out a DVD called Close-Up Magic for Kids. And, you know, there's so much, there's absolutely so much magic, close-up magic that you can buy. There's not that many things that you can buy that are specific for children. And you know, events like, you know, we get bookings through my kids company, for example, all the time for nurseries, where you go into a nursery and there's like 40 or 50 kids that are having a fun day and you just want to walk around for a couple of hours showing the kids magic. Restaurants where they hire you just specifically to do the kids section, whatever it may be. There are lots of situations when the close-up magic needs to appeal just to the kids and the adults don't really care, they're not there, they're not watching, or, you know, they are there, but they're not paying any attention whatsoever. This is a really nice packet trick that you can do in that environment. Like I say, I wouldn't do this in a wedding. So I wouldn't do this when you're going over a table, there's a couple of kids there, there's a whole bunch of adults. That's not the sort of place that I would do this. But this is perfect for that right time, right place type of audience. Let me perform it for you first of all. I'm going to get Ryland in on this because I think this would be better performing it to a kid. So I'm going to perform this to Ryland and then I'll go through exactly what I think about it. So, Rye, did you know I have 4 magical rabbit friends?
No.
Yeah, I do. I've got them right here. You're going to meet them in a minute. Do you like the bow tie?
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right? And these rabbits do tricks. Would you like to see the tricks they do?
Yes.
Okay, but they don't just do magic unless I give them something. So I'm going to bribe them with some rabbit food. Do you know what rabbits eat?
Carrots.
No, they actually eat cheeseburgers.
What?
Did you not know that? They
No.
eat cheeseburgers. They love cheeseburgers. It's not very good for them, but they love cheeseburgers. So I'm going to tell these little magical rabbits, if you do a good job here, you are going to get cheeseburgers. So now they know that if they do a good job, they're going to get cheeseburgers. Hopefully, they're going to do a good job, right? Now, that's the rabbit food. We're going to keep it over there. Can you keep an eye on it? Yeah. And I've got 4 rabbits. Now, when I do this, sometimes people say to me, I know how this works. You're taking the cards and you're putting them in your top pocket like that. Now, I do not do that. But to make sure I don't do that, keep an eye on my pocket to make sure I don't cheat. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So, I've got 4 magical rabbits. This is magical rabbit number 1. His name is Red. Do you have any idea why?
Well, he's got a red bow tie.
Exactly. Magical rabbit number 2 is Yellow. Do you have any idea why?
Yellow bow.
Exactly, a yellow bow tie. Do you have any idea what this guy's name is?
Blue.
Correct! You're so good at this. And do you have any idea what this guy's name is?
Green.
No, his name's Bob. But there you go. So we've got Bob, Blue, Yellow, and Red. And
I think you should change his name.
no, I think Bob's a good name. Now, the important thing is for their trick to work, they've all got to be facing up like this. Now, as long as all 4 of my magical rabbits are facing up, we're going to be absolutely fine. As long as all 4 of my magical rabbits are facing up, we're going... What?
You can see his bum.
Where did that... I don't want to see a rabbit bum. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, which one's turned over? That's Red, isn't it? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll wave my hand over and now Red turns back over. There we go. So now we've got all 4 rabbits facing the right way.
Blue.
Oh, Blue, what are you doing? They're doing this on purpose to make me look silly. I'm so sorry. Look, I'll wave my hand over and now Blue's the red. There we go. Now we're sorted. So
Now we've got Yellow.
What is he doing? They're winding me up on purpose. Look, I'm really sorry. Let me just wave my hand over. Now we've got Yellow. There we go. Now we're ready.
Now we've got Bob.
What is Bob doing? Bob's the good one normally. This is ridiculous. Look, guys, sort it else, else you're not going to get the rabbit food. Right, okay, I've told them they'll be good. So, one of the things they can do is they can change colour. Would you like to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you remember what colour the rabbits were on the back? They were white, weren't they? White. Watch this. If I just do this, they do a quick change. See, now all of them have got the brown rabbits instead of white rabbits. That's pretty cool, right? All of them, every single one of them. But that's not the only trick they do. They can do another trick. Would you like to see the other trick?
Yeah.
If I take one of them, I'll take this one right here and put him in my pocket. How many does that leave?
3.
Yeah, it leaves, you tell me the names.
Blue. Red and Yellow.
Yeah, Bob's in the pocket.
Yeah.
But watch this. Bob can jump from the pocket to join his friends. Look, just snap my fingers.
Bobby.
And he comes back, which is pretty good, right?
Bob's back.
But they do an even better colour change. Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Remember when their backs turned brown?
Yeah.
If I snap my fingers, they do it even better. Do you know why?
Why?
Because now Blue
It's blue.
and Red
It's red.
and Yellow
It's yellow.
and Bob is...
Green.
Exactly. Done a fantastic job. And because they've done such a good job, it means that they can have their rabbit food. But the problem is they're really fast. Magic rabbits are really fast and they probably ate the food without you even realising it. Have a look. See, yeah, the cheeseburgers have gone. There are no cheeseburgers. Do you know where the cheeseburgers have gone?
Why?
All in Bob's belly. He's the greediest one. He ate them all.
But it's the goodest, but greediest.
Yes, goodest but greediest, exactly. So that's the routine. It's very easy to do. It's just some basic sleight of hand. The cards are really well made. I've got them in here. The cards are super well made. They're not card stock. They're like plastic stock, but they are laminated. So, you know, they're going to last a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's a very clear. There's a lot of magic that's happening. When you actually think about it, if you watch the presentation, there's a lot of magic that's happening, but it all makes sense. And because of the bright colours and because of the fact using bunnies, it's all relatable to a child. And there's lots of moments. I love those look-see moments. If you've seen magic stuff, I talk about look-see when you're talking about performing magic for kids. Having that moment where you look away and something has happened and you're not aware of it and the kid points it out to you and you look down and you react. This is the perfect look-no-see trick because in that phase where the rabbits are turning face down, I can imagine performing this to a whole bunch of kids and having them scream and shout and go, hey, it's turned over, it's turned over. Then all the backs change, then they change again. You got the burger that disappears. There's so much that actually happens in this routine. This is great. It's instantly reset. The cards are examinable at the end. It's really well made. You don't need a table. It's easy to do. And it's the perfect hook for children. Hey, who here likes magic rabbits? You do. Oh, would you like to see a trick about magic rabbits? You just have to be aware that this is a right time, right place type of prop. Do not perform this sort of routine when you're doing a close-up job and there's adults that are as invested as the kids. Even a family restaurant, you know, sometimes you can get booked for a family restaurant and you're really just focusing on the kids. That's fine. But if the adults want to see some magic as well, I don't think this is the right type of place for this. But this is perfect to have in your top pocket if you're going and doing a kids gig. This, you know, if you're a kids magician or a kids entertainer and you're doing 2-hour kids party packages, for example, this might be a nice thing to do as the kids arrive. I know a lot of kids entertainers that will do magic, sort of close-up magic, as the kids walk in the door. This is the sort of thing that would work absolutely brilliantly. So yeah, it's really, really good. It's called Burger-Ler's Bunnies. I'm going to give this 90%. This is one of my favourite. I don't have many packet tricks for kids. I've got a couple. Tamarick's rabbits I used to do for years as a kid's trick. But I think this is even better than that. It's really good, very easy to do, and it's recommended. Okay, so the next routine that I'm going to talk about is probably my favourite routine of the lot, and that is the silk to chocolate. And what Magic Box have done here is they have taken the classic silk to egg and they have restructured it and re-routined it so it works with a Ferrero Rocher instead, which I think is an absolutely brilliant idea. Anybody who's watched this channel for any length of time will know how much I love silk to egg. I think it's one of the best openers for a stand-up show that you can do. And it works really, really well. What this allows you to do is do that silk to egg routine almost exactly the same, but do it with a Ferrero Rocher instead. Now, there's a few different there's a few differences in terms of handling, so it's not exactly the same. But everything that you need to perform this routine, you actually get with the package. So you get the silks, you get the gimmick, you get the 2 gimmicks, there's 2 gimmicks with it. You get everything. All you need to do is go and buy yourself some Ferrero Rochers. So what's the effect? If you haven't seen Silk to Egg, what's the effect? Let me perform it for you right now. I'm going to perform the full routine for you, let you see exactly what it looks like, and then we'll talk about why this is so good. Okay, so I've got Sarah behind the camera and I'm going to show Sarah how to do a trick. In fact, I'm going to show everybody here how to perform a magic trick, which is breaking the rules of the magic circle, but as I've been kicked out twice, oh well. And the idea of this trick is very simple. I'm going to show you how to do a trick with a red handkerchief, and it's called the red handkerchief trick. Sarah, do you have any idea why it's called the red handkerchief trick?
Well, yes, I think that's quite self-explanatory.
It uses a red handkerchief, right?
I'm just wondering if that's all it uses.
Well, yes. Here's the thing. Watch this. This is the best trick you'll ever see. I'm going to put the red handkerchief into my hand. Now, it's got to go all the way in the hand so you can't see it. You can't leave any bits sticking out. So everything's got to go in the hand. Now, it goes all the way in the hand. That's very important.
Okay.
And then when it's all the way in the hand, this is the magic. Watch. You wave your hand over. You snap your fingers. And when you do that, hopefully, with any luck, that red handkerchief turns into a Ferrero Rocher. Like, this is Sarah's favourite type of magic right now, which means the question is, where's the handkerchief? Well, it actually jumps down here into my pocket.
How?
I'm going to tell you the trick. I said I'd teach you the trick, and I will. There's a few things that you need for this, right? Okay? And I'm going to explain exactly what you need. First of all, you need a red handkerchief. Second of all, you need a fake Ferrero Rocher. Now, this is a fake Ferrero Rocher. It's not a real Ferrero Rocher.
I want to eat it.
I know, it's a fake one because, you see, there's a hole in it. There's a technical term for this. It's called cheating because, you see, inside there is a second red handkerchief. Now, you're probably getting a rough idea of how this works now. Fake Ferrero Rocher with a hole in it, 2 red handkerchiefs, but I'm going to break it down for you. Now, what you have to do, there is a setup involved in this. The first thing you have to do is take your fake Ferrero Rocher, that's the Ferrero Rocher with the hole in it, you put that into your pocket. Then you take your 2 red handkerchiefs. By the way, when you're doing this trick, make sure they're the same colour. Just saying, I've made that mistake before. And you put the 2 red handkerchiefs into your other pocket. Now, when you've done that, you are ready to begin. So you walk out and you say, hello, my name is Craig and I am a magician. You get the audience's attention and you say, let me show you something. You reach into your pockets and what you're going to do, in your left hand, you're going to palm the Ferrero Rocher. Now, palming just means holding it secretly in your hand. So you come out, you grab it secretly in your hand, but you want to bring out the red handkerchief first of all. And you wave this up and down like this. And you say, look, I've got a red handkerchief. That's called misdirection. Everybody looks over here and they're not looking at this hand. This hand has got the Ferrero Rocher in. Now, it's really important that you hold the handkerchief in the same hand as the thing that you're palming and don't turn your hand around like that, because if you do, they're going to see exactly how it works. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take the handkerchief and push it into the hand. Now, you're not really pushing it into the hand, you're really pushing it into the hole in the Ferrero Rocher, but we don't let people know that. And it goes all the way in. You don't want to leave any bits sticking out. That's important, because if there's any bits sticking out, they'll realise what's happened. And then what you're going to do now is you wave your hand over, you make the magical gesture, you can blow if you want, and then you open up your hand and you show that this is now a Ferrero Rocher. And then you reach into your pocket and you take out the other handkerchief that's been there from the very, very beginning. And that's how the trick works. Now, it's really important that when you're doing this, you cover the hole in the fake Ferrero Rocher up with your thumb. Don't turn it around this way, else they'll see how it works. And occasionally, you'll have people in the audience that are really super clever. And they'll say, I know how that trick works. There is a hole in that Ferrero Rocher. If they say that, this is what you do. You snap your fingers and then you take the hole and you pull the hole off the Ferrero Rocher. You then snap your fingers and you turn that Ferrero Rocher into a real Ferrero Rocher. There are no holes, there's nothing special about it, and then you can take it, eat it, and that is the trick with the red handkerchief. So yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I really like this. A few things I like about it. So first of all, Silk to Egg is great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to perform Silk to Egg. 100% I'm still going to perform Silk to Egg. That moment where you crack the egg and the yolk comes out and they see it, it's just a wonderful moment. I think this is great for close-up. Silk to Egg is not really a close-up trick because you have to have the egg in your pocket and you have to... once you have to crack it, so it's not great for mix and mingle, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why. And the reset would be a nightmare. You'd have to go and get yourself another egg or whatever it may be. All you'd need to do this, if you wanted to do this 5 times in a night, you just make sure you got 5 Ferrero Rochers in your pocket and you're good to go. This takes up less pocket space. Also, because it's not an egg, there's no mess. You know, you take the Ferrero Rocher at the end, you can either eat it or you can give it them to eat. So I think for a close-up scenario, this works really, really well. I can see restaurant workers doing this and having it play brilliantly. Okay, the other thing that I'd suggest would work really well with this is doing it in a kids show. I think this would be better to do in a kids show than Silk to Egg, to be perfectly honest, especially as you could give the chocolate away once you've produced it if you wanted to, or you could eat it yourself. And I think this would work really well in conjunction with a routine that myself and Ryan reviewed on the review show a little while ago. We reviewed this whole item where it's like a Dove pan but built into a chocolate box. So you can show the box empty, you put the lid on and it's full of chocolates, and it was designed for either Lindt chocolates or Ferrero Rocher. So I like the idea of opening up this box and there's no chocolates in there and there's a silk, and you take the silk out and you put the lid on the chocolates, and then you proceed to go into this routine where you make the chocolate appear. You turn the silk into the chocolate. Then when you've turned the silk into the chocolate, you explain how the trick works. You've got the pseudo explanation. And then once you explain how the trick works and you've eaten that chocolate, you go, of course, the problem is I've got no more chocolates, but if I use magic, and now you open this up and now your whole thing is full of chocolates. I think that would be a nice ending to it. And if you wanted to streamline that and make it really visual, you could forget about the pseudo explanation and you could just have the production. So for example, you could just have the tray, which is empty other than a red handkerchief. Take the red handkerchief out, put the tray on the table, put it into your hand, turn it into a Ferrero Rocher, and then you could vanish that. You could say, look, I'll try and get that Ferrero Rocher back inside there. Watch. Boom. Did you see it go in? Yeah, not only did it get in there, but I filled the whole thing up. So, you know, that'd be a really nice intro to a kids show, because kids love chocolate. Let me tell you right now, kids love chocolate. So you do something that you're making chocolate appear and chocolate's jumping into something. I think that'd be absolutely great. There's a lot of opportunities with this. But I think that the practicality of it is great. And they've, as I say, they've put the complete package there. So you've got the silks, you've got the stickers, so you can pull the sticker off at the end. The only thing they don't give you is chocolates. If you do silk to egg, then you're going to love this, because there's so many places I think that I can do this that silk to egg wouldn't be appropriate. As I say, I perform silk to egg all the time, and it's a great in certain situations, but other situations, especially close up, it's not so good. But because this is a lot smaller than an egg, and therefore I can guard the angles a lot better, and because there's less pocket space taken up and I'm not having to carry an egg round that could break at the moment's notice, it means that this is practical to even do sort of walk around. And if you can do this walk around, or you can do this in table magic in a restaurant, then all of a sudden, wow, the opportunities are just endless. So yeah, I love it for a kid's show. I love it for a family show. I love it for sort of a close-up mix and mingle setting, a table hopping setting. I'm going to give this 95%. I think this is the standout product that I'm looking at today. So it's highly recommended. Yeah, and also I think this would be really good for social media magicians as well. You know, just showing a handkerchief, putting it in your hand and turning it into a Ferrero Rocher. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do on social media, especially if you combine it with the pseudo explanation. So there you go, 95%, highly recommended. Right, next we have Money Spinner. Now, this is by Magic Box, and this has been around for a very long time. I remember buying this from Magic Box about 15 years ago. Now, it's only made in UK currency, so please bear that in mind. The original version used the old pound coins. Well, this new version that's come out uses the new pound coins. What is it? Basically what it is you can borrow if you want to. You can either bring out £2 coins yourself, or you can borrow them. Either way is absolutely fine. But you borrow £2 coins, or you bring out your own two £1 coins, and you just go through this whole thing of balancing one on the other. And you've got this impossible balance. Now, anyone that's seen Joshua Jay's Balance or Angelo Carbone's House of Cards will know that balancing tricks are really cool. You know, you're able to balance one coin on another. It looks absolutely incredible. It really does. And then, however, you've got an animation, because then you can make that top coin spin. So just by looking at it, you can make it spin round in either direction. And then on your command, it'll fall. And it looks like everything's examinable. And then you can give it them back, switching them out. Both coins are special. Now, I'm going to try and perform this for you, but I'm going to go through a huge negative first of all. And when I got this from Magic Box 15 years ago, I didn't have a problem with that. But in the last 15 years, my eyes have got terrible. Like, my eyes are really bad. Like, if you saw how thick my lenses were, it's ridiculous. I have such bad eyes. So bad I can't even have laser surgery. And I really struggle with this trick now. I haven't performed this for years, but I really struggle because there's something you need to do. And I've been practicing this for a while now, and I'm just, I'm struggling because it looks like I'm trying to do something. I don't think people can see what I'm doing, but it looks like I'm trying to do something. I think you need to have good eyesight to do this. If you've got good eyesight, it'll be seamless. It'll look amazing, because you can very easily borrow £2 coins, switch them in, do the thing, switch them out, give it them back, job done, and it'll look great. I personally am really struggling with this. So I'm going to try and perform it for you, because that's the thing with this channel. We perform everything. But if I suck, I apologize. I am really sorry. I'm going to try my absolute best. So Sarah, how long have we been married?
Too long.
Thanks. That makes me feel really good. Now, seriously, how long? It's probably about 15, 16 years, right?
No.
Less or more times? Well, how long is it? No.
Less.
13 years? 12?
When did you get married? Do you know?
About 10 years ago or so. I have no idea. some point. We were married. We dated for a long time before we got
did,
married.
yeah.
A long engagement. I can't remember. Just tell me. How long have we been married? How long have we been together? It's got to be coming close to 20 years. It feels like 30.
We got married in 2008, dear.
2008. I wasn't too far off. About 13 years then.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you something that you might not know about me.
That I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Even though you've known me for a long time, you won't know this. When I was younger, right, when I was about 15, 16, I had two choices in terms of what I wanted to do as a hobby, and I knew I'd be successful at it. I could either be a magician or I could be an acrobat.
What?
No, I was really into... Shut up.
This is a joke.
No, I'm serious. I could have been in the Olympics right now if I want. I could have been in the Olympics if I wanted to be. Now, and one of the reasons I was such a good athlete. Will you stop it?
Gymnast.
I was gymnast. I was the guy that did the flippy stuff.
Yeah, okay, in your dreams.
Twirling ribbons around.
Yeah.
The reason I was so good at it is because I'm just exceptional at balance.
Right.
And I'm going to show you how good my balance is. Now, obviously, I don't do this anymore, but well, if I can get this £2 coins, and if I can get this in just the right spot, check this out. I've got to get it in just the right spot. It's got to be in just the right spot. It's tough.
And this is why you would not be a gold medalist.
Hang on, it's got to be in just the right spot. Look at that. Hang on. It's going to fall. It's going to fall.
What are you doing?
I'm balancing a £1 coin on another £1 coin. Like, I'd like to see any of those Olympians do this.
It's a piece of cake.
No, it's not. And then if I touch my forehead, do you know what I can do?
What's that?
I can channel my magic.
Right.
Look at that.
Yeah, okay.
I can actually make that £1 coin spin around on the other £1 coin. I can even make it go back. But I tell you what, if it drops just like that, the magic is over. And you can examine those if you want to. Or you don't want to, they've disappeared. It doesn't matter. That's why I became a magician and not an athlete. So there you go. I hope that wasn't too bad. That's Money Spinner. The bottom line is, it is what it says. If you're based in the UK and you want to do a trick like that, I mean, it's a very interesting moment of strange. It's not like a normal coin trick. You're balancing one coin on another, and they're initially going to think that's a stunt, and then the thing starts spinning around, and that looks really magical. And then it falls and you can hand it out. It's really cool. I used to do this all the time years ago. I'm not going to do it now for obvious reasons, but it doesn't mean it's not good. It's a good trick. Now, it's not going to set, let's be honest, it's not going to set the world on fire. It's not the greatest trick of all time. It's not one that's going to make people go, hold the phone, stop, this is the thing that you've done. Oh my God, let me give you a contract. It's not going to be that. But it's also not filler. It fits. You just have to figure out, I wouldn't open with this, I wouldn't close with this, but right time, right place, this can be really good. I think the best use of this is almost impromptu. If you keep the gimmicks in your pocket and you don't accidentally spend them, you keep the gimmicks in the pocket and somebody says, hey, you're a magician, show me a trick. Yeah, no problem. I've got a couple of coins here. I don't think I'd even bother having them switched in and switched out. I'd just bring the coins out and say, look, I'm going to show you something really weird. And go into this balancing thing. I think people think it's for real up until a certain point. And then but by the time they realise that you're doing magic, the trick's over and you just put the coins away. So I think this has got a place, but I think you'd need to very carefully consider where to put it into your act. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do it at all. I think Ryland is going to do it because his eyes are perfect and he's been eyeing this up. He thinks this is great. So I'm not going to do it. I did do it for years. I don't want to diss it because it's a great product, but it's just not for me now. You need to be aware that if your eyes are bad or if you're in low lighting conditions, if you're in a nightclub or something, or if you're in a dark pub, you might struggle to do this. So you need to make sure that you're aware of the limitations before you perform it, and you need to be aware that it's not going to be that trick that is the closer to your show. But genuinely, right time, right place, this could kill. I'm going to give this 70%. I think it's good. I'm not going to do it, but I'd happily recommend it. This is the second of these that I've owned. And I used to do this when I had good eyes. I used to do this quite regularly. So 70%, you know exactly what this does. If you like the effect and you think you can include it in your act, then I'd recommend it. Okay, so I just want to give a shout out to something else that Magic Box have released, which are really cool. You can get from them flash raffle tickets. And again, these are the creation of Graham Shaw, and each pack contains 100 tickets, and you also get a YouTube video with some ideas of how you can use it. Now, I always think that when people use flash paper, the problem with flash paper is and especially if you're doing it close up, you bring out a sheet of flash paper and you tear a piece off and you're going to use this for a routine. It just kind of seems weird. And also, if you've just got loose pieces of flash paper in your wallet for no reason, it looks weird. So this is one of 2 products I recommend to people when they ask me about learning, about performing flash paper tricks in the real world. There's this, and there's also the Prop Dog sort of post-it note pads that are also designed to look like a regular object. Now, what I do with these, just so you know, is I cut them out. So I'll take a couple of sheets of this. Like I say, you get 100 sheets. I'll cut a couple of sheets up, and then I'll get a staple gun and I'll staple them together. So it just looks like I've got a whole bunch of raffle tickets. You can do that, or you can bring them out like this and just tear them off. But this gives you a reason for carrying around. You know, nobody carries around a sheet of tissue paper. And if you take a sheet of tissue paper out, even if you've pre-cut it, it's obvious that there's something special going on with that. But if you bring out a post-it note pad or some raffle tickets, it all makes sense. And because it's a raffle ticket, it makes sense to use it to produce money or something like that. So you could bring out 3 raffle tickets, scrunch them up into balls, grab a lighter and turn each one into a coin. Then you've got 3 coins and you go into 3 fly, for example. If you do the In a Flash by Jay Sankey, for example, this is great to wrap the coin up with in a flash. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can do this. And as I say, I love the idea. This and the Prop Dog post-it note pads, they are the perfect way to ring flash paper in and have people think that it's just a normal item that you would carry around with you, if that makes sense. It kind of makes flash paper tricks organic. So I want to shout this out to Magic Box, because I've been using these flash raffle tickets for a long time, and you can only get them directly from Magic Box, because Graham Shaw was the guy that came up with the idea. So if you use flash paper, ask yourself a question: do you do any tricks with flash paper? If you do tricks with flash paper, do you just bring out a pre-cut piece of white paper? Because if you do, I'd highly recommend getting these. As I say, I have them loose, I have them stapled, and if you don't know what to do with them, just palm 3 coins, get yourself some flash paper, get yourself a lighter, light the first one, boom, produce a coin, light the second one, produce a coin, light the third one, produce a coin, put the wallet away, steal your 4th coin or your shell or whatever, and you're into a really cool version of 3 fly. Or you can do Flash Coins Relit by Chad Long. That is also another great thing that you can use this flash paper for. So I'm going to give this 98%. I love this. It's probably the highest mark, but I don't look at this as a trick. I use it. I think of it as an accessory, and I think it's an amazing accessory. It was Michael J. Fitch. If you don't know Michael J. Fitch, go check out his interview on the Talk Magic playlist. Incredible magician. I think it was Michael J. Fitch who once said, flash paper can make any trick 1,000 times better. And it really can, because when you see, you take a piece of flash paper or a little ticket and you light it and it flares up, everybody from all over can see that from miles away. You know, you're in a room working, everybody can see that. It grabs people's attention immediately. So flash paper is a really cool thing to work. And also Gary Jones's mini cups and balls routine that uses flash paper. That's a really cool routine, and this works brilliantly with that as well. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. If you do flash paper routines, look into this, or the other option is the Prop Dog post-it note pads. Both work because they're both things that you would expect to find on your person, so it makes sense carrying it around, but these fit really nicely into your wallet. Okay, so next up I'm going to talk about Sublime Influence by Michael Murray. Now this is one of my favourite items from Magic Box, and what this is basically, it's a routine that you can carry around in your wallet. You're good to go anytime, anywhere. And I remember the first time I saw this. This must have been about 7 or 8 years back, and Michael performed it to me at at Newcastle. I was up there. I think I was touring the holiday parks with the Illusion Show, and I dropped into Magic Box, and he performed this for me, and I was completely blown away. It didn't make any sense as to how it worked, and then I learned it, and it's a very simple method. It's very easy to do, but it packs a real punch. If you don't know what the routine is, I'm going to perform it for you very quickly. Let's just have a look at a performance of Sublime Influence, and this is all about subliminal advertising. Now, Sarah, you've heard of subliminal advertising, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's the whole idea of an image being shown on screen, and the image is flashed up so quickly that it's almost impossible for the eyes to register the image. So you don't really see it, but the brain takes it in. So, for example, in a cinema, you might flash up a thing that says, eat more popcorn, drink more cola, something like that. And the company that got accused of you doing this was Pepsi, which is why I have a Pepsi logo over here. They got accused of using subliminal advertising. It got taken to court, but it got thrown out. But I do believe that the Pepsi logo especially can influence people subliminally. And I'm going to prove it to you. You and I are going to try an experiment using a few cards. Now, I've got some... I've got 10 cards here, and they've all got numbers on them. Some of the numbers are repeated. It doesn't really matter. What the numbers aren't important, but we're going to use these to try an experiment. I'm going to need your help. Is that all right, Sarah?
Yep.
So we have 10 cards altogether. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, you're going to make all the decisions, Sarah. And the first decision is I'm going to deal these cards into two piles like you would a two-handed game of poker. Now, and I'm going to deal a pile for you and a pile for me. Now, the first decision is, would you like me to start the deal with you, or would you like me to start the deal with me? It's completely up to you. So you want me to get the first card, you to get the second card, and alternate like that? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to deal to me, then to you, then 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 to me, then to you. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, Sarah, this is where you come in. What I want you to do is I want you to take these 5 cards. There you go. Can you take them for me?
Yeah.
You can do it off camera if you want to. So it's up to you. I know you're sitting behind the camera, so that's fine. What I want you to do is hold the cards face up, like this. And then what I want you to do is deal cards onto the table in front of you, and just stop dealing whenever you want to. And whenever you want to stop dealing, turn the rest of the cards over and just drop them on top. So deal, stop whenever you want to, and then turn everything over. Now pick everything up and do it again. So deal again until you want to stop. You can deal 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards. It's up to you. And then turn over and keep doing that until you're happy. If you want this to run for 2 hours and you want this to be the longest video in YouTube, that's fine. Are you done?
Yeah.
Would you like to carry on?
Nope.
So think about this. Say you made all the decisions. You first of all decided on which way we were going to deal the cards. If you'd made a different decision at that point, you would have ended up with a completely different selection of cards. You then decided how many times you were going to do that mixing procedure. You decided each time how many cards you were going to deal. You decided where to stop. You made all the decisions. Would it be fair to say that the cards right here are in an order that no one could possibly know? Yes?
Yeah.
And did you feel that you were influenced at any point?
No.
Well, let's have a look at these 5 cards. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 9, we've got a 3, and we've got a 9. 1, 2, 9, 3, 9. 12,939. Mm-hmm. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
Doesn't it? Well, do you remember when you were a child? Can you remember your home phone number? Did the home phone number end in 12939?
No.
That would have been good, wouldn't it, really? Yeah, I'm not that good. But I couldn't possibly know that. But here's the thing, I did influence you. Because you see, this Pepsi logo has been sitting here, and you've been watching it the entire way through. Right the way through all of the dealing and all of the mixing and all of that stuff, that Pepsi logo has been staring you in the face. And all I have to do is flip this Pepsi logo over, and you see that the Pepsi logo on the other side, when it's reversed, shows 1, 2, 9, 3, 9. And I think that's conclusive proof that Pepsi subliminally influence their customers. But there you go, that's the routine. It is genius thinking by Michael Murray. I love the presentational hook. I love the idea of talking about subliminal advertising. It all makes sense. I love the idea of putting the card down at the beginning with the Pepsi logo, and they can see that from the very, very beginning. You're then doing all of the routines, and it feels, with the selection of the cards and the mixing procedure of the cards, it feels like they are absolutely mixing them up, and there's no way that you could have predetermined anything And then you get into a situation where they've made all the decisions and you turn this thing over, and when that moment hits them, it's like, oh my gosh, that's great. It's really cool. Everything's examinable. It's instantly reset. It fits inside your wallet, which makes it perfect for an everyday carry. Like I say, it's easy to do. No table required. You can actually do it in the spectator's hands. It's one of Ryland's favourite tricks. If you see Ryland out and about, there's a very good chance he's going to perform this routine for you because he absolutely loves it. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to give this a quick shout out. I've mentioned this item before on a 5x5 in the past, but as I was doing a Magic Box review show special, I wanted to bring it to your attention again, just because I think it's so good. I'm going to give this 93%. I think this is really good. This is such a great trick and very easy to do, but packs a big punch, and I love that Pepsi reveal. I've seen a lot of people do this in the real world, and it's a great trick to do at gigs, but it's also a very good trick to have in your wallet that you can pull out at a moment's notice. So highly recommended. That's Sublime Influence 2 by Michael Murray and Magic Box. So the final thing I want to talk about on this review show special is this guy. This is Magic Box's version of Rocky Raccoon. Now I'm going to completely be honest with you now. I have not ever performed Rocky Raccoon. I have seen some amazing performers perform Rocky Raccoon. Obviously, Dave Williamson is a great guy that performs Rocky Raccoon. And if you haven't seen it, just go on YouTube and type in David Williamson, Rocky Raccoon. You'll see what this thing is capable of. It is absolutely incredible. There's lots of people that do really great routines with it. The reason I want to bring this to your attention is because it's very difficult to get a Rocky Raccoon, and Magic Box do their own version, and this is very well made. It does what Rocky is meant to do. It's bouncy. You know, if you've seen the Dave Williamson routine, it works exactly the same as the Dave Williamson routine. I've always thought of this as a stage prop. And it is a stage prop, really, when you think about it. But my friend Nemid Phoenix, who I've spoken about on the channel before, he actually uses this close-up. He actually takes Rocky Raccoon to gigs. And he does this whole routine where he's got somebody holding onto Rocky, and they hold onto Rocky, and somebody picks a card, and he says that Rocky's going to find the card. And it ends up that he has to take out this giant pair of tweezers because it ends up that the card is lodged up Rocky's bum. And if you've ever seen Nemid Phoenix perform, you'll know that that is absolutely his style, and it is hilarious. And I've seen him pull this off at corporate gigs and bring the house down. So I remember turning around to him and saying, you can't do Rocky Raccoon, walk around. You can't do Rocky Raccoon, table magic. Yes, you can, he said. And then he proceeded to prove me wrong. And yes, you absolutely can. So this is something that you can actually do anywhere. Nemid does watch a lot of these videos, so hopefully he'll comment down below. But yeah, you can do this. You can do a card in bum, which is Nemid's routine, which is a routine that I've seen Nemid do many, many times. But obviously, a lot of people know it as a stage item. Regardless, this is a really good quality Rocky. I'm not going to give this a review. I'm not going to give this a percentage. And the reason I'm not going to give it a percentage is because I can't perform this for you. All I know how to do with this is just do munchy, 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 munchy. I can't perform this routine. I've never performed it. I love watching Dave Williamson do it. I could watch him all day perform this routine. I could watch Nemid perform it close up all day. All I'm saying is, if you're wanting to put Rocky Raccoon in your act and you can't find him because he's very difficult to find, this little guy from Magic Box, very, very good, very well made. So there you go. So there you go, guys. That is another review show special in the bag. Thank you very much for joining me, and a big thank you to Magic Box for what they do and continue to do. If you haven't been to their physical shop, please do so. We should support brick and mortar shops, and their shop is brilliant. They've got a fantastic range that you can look at and pick up and touch, and they've got this wonderful little section at the back with all the illusions. It's well worth checking out. And also go have a look at their online shop. This is a small selection of their their range. I wanted to pick some of the things out that I thought were a bit quirky, bit different, stuff that you might not have seen before, stuff that I've been impressed with, and present that to you. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you shop at Magic Box? Do you know the guys at Magic Box? Have you seen them around? Have you met them at a magic convention? Let me know what you think, and let me know what you think of the reviews. For me, the standout of this was, outside of the flash paper, the standout for me was the silk to chocolate routine. I can see myself doing this a lot, and I very much like the kids routine as well. Right time, right place. I think that's great. But there's some really good stuff on this review show. Let me know what you think down below, and don't forget, I'm going to be back on Monday with 3 videos. At 2 o'clock I'm going to be here with the shorts, at 6 o'clock I'm going to be here with the Magic Live, and at 9 o'clock I'm going to be here with a 5x5. So I'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.